Hey everybody, welcome back to the Cryptopolitan. I'm Satoshi Sean, glad you're here. Before we get started, thanks again for stopping by. Really appreciate how the channel's growing. If it's your first time here, please hit the subscribe button and the bell for notifications. We get news videos out to you every day. And also, if you could take a second and crush that like button, really means a lot to us. Leave a comment, definitely get back with you. I really enjoy interacting with y'all. Um, let's head over and get into it. We'll head over to Cryptopolitan. The first story we're going to go over is on Tron. You know, love it, hate it, Tron. Um, it is one of the largest cryptocurrencies out there, and definitely becoming one of the most influential. And I think the main point of the story, what I really wanted to hit on, is that it's not just for Justin Sun anymore. That really used to be what Tron was. Everyone would say, "Oh, he's a great marketer." Justin Sun, Justin Sun, Justin Sun. I think Tron has really come into its own um, and is becoming a driving force in the market. Recently, Tron has been a recent research on Tron by Binance, of course. Binance research has revealed that there's a lot of potential growth in TRX, which, of course, you know, Binance would say that. Um, but on the analysis in the last 24 hour and the trend of TRX is regarded as the most influential currency with the most number of users currently. Now that's something that's not really that biased. That's solid facts. Um, One of the reasons is because if you haven't noticed, if you've been under a rock, Tron with their dApps have really exploded. There's just tons of them, and a lot of them are little goofy uh, games and just not super technical, but that's kind of how cell phones and things like that and apps were basically when they first came out. I think we're at that stage, but they are pumping them out. There are so many dApps, so many games. So and a lot of them are pretty cool on TRX. TRX being used for many other purposes. Dapps.com are the ones that reported this. Um, Currently, Tron is making partnerships and collaborations with companies to broaden the scope, to bring innovations which different sectors, evident from its partnership with Mix Marvel to establish Sweet Games. Also, Tron is striving to make its impact in the finance sector. So it's really the platform itself is starting to shine. They're really starting to come through. Developers are starting to move over there from other projects like Ethereum, and they're really pumping out some product. Um, Recent TRX made a collaboration with blockchain startup Swarm to enhance security measures. Also, a new contract with Singapore-based Huobi DM is under construction. So it's I mean, you've still got Justin Sun out there pumping it 24/7. You still have him, working all aspects and making partnerships with everyone from toilets to whatever. Um, but the tech itself and the blockchain itself seems to really be coming through. So I see a lot of decent things coming for Tron. I think Tron's going to be a solid player this year. Next, we'll move on to a lot of regulatory kind of stuff. United Arab Emirates is said to surpass the United States as the largest digital token sales race, which isn't that surprising because the United States is really kind of holding back. But the United Arab Emirates is stepping into the crypto game, has recently been reported being the largest contributor to the crypto token sales in 2019. Almost $210 million worth of funds came from the Gulf nation since the beginning of this year. The Middle East and basically the MENA region, which is the Middle East and North Africa and Southern Asia. I think that's going to be the real big hub of where cryptocurrency um, adoption comes out of. One of the main reasons I think is because it's needed. Now, there's a lot of places where it's needed: Venezuela, South America, um, South Africa. There's a lot of places where there's terrible inflation, where there's definite use case and it could really help. But to be blunt, a lot of those places are poor, terrible infrastructure when it comes to technology, and also there's a limited amount of cell phones. This area of the globe, it's not like that. Um, there is not as much. There is poor banking. There's a lot of unbanked. There's a lot of great need, but the infrastructure is there, the technology is there. Also, the governments are a lot more open to cryptocurrencies in this region. So I think that's why this is a kind of a perfect storm or a match made in heaven when it comes to crypto and blockchain. Even though people were expecting the United States to be on the top fund sector, but it's standing overall in sixth position right now. The United Arab Emirates interest in crypto was way out of the blue. In 2018, the United Arab Emirates had shown no interest in the field before. Now, I think they actually have a division of the government that's working on it. Um, or that may be Dubai. I know it's Dubai. I don't know about the UAE. Um, United Arab Emirates is trying to cement a leading position in this new and thriving market. The UAE is collaborating with Saudi Arabia to launch its own cryptocurrency and aid in cross-border transactions. That's a big deal. Those two are huge players in that area, and if they do are able to launch cryptocurrency for that. Um, Also, a lot of cryptocurrencies and projects are focusing on that region, and they're focusing on becoming halal, where it is accepted by Muslims, which is the main religion in that area. Which there's a lot of financial restrictions, which is one of the reasons why there are so many unbanked people, because the banking system as it is, the legacy banking system is not set up to go along with those values. So there's a lot of projects like Token Pay, um, Halal Chain, other things that are specifically geared towards um, falling into the approval for that and being used there. So huge things. Like I said, I think that's the sector, the MENA region, Middle East, North Africa, and also South Asia, where adoption is going to really, really, really start. Um, More stuff. The SEC suspends Bitcoin Generations exchange trading. The Security Exchange Commission has directed that the trading should be stopped with immediate effect in the crypto exchange Bitcoin Generations. This action is temporary, and it will be applicable by the 29th of April. It will be 10 days basically from April 29th to May 10th. For the normal session will start after that. The SEC further requests that stakeholders do not enter in any deal with Bitcoin Generation unless they follow the rules and regulations effectively. This step will curb the flaw in the crypto sector and make it more reliable. So the SEC is starting to step up, but it usually takes extreme cases like with this. Um, that they had tracked about $24 million worth of USD that was transferred to the CEO of the Bitcoin Generations, and he termed it as a good initiative for ensuring security in crypto sector. So they're kind of putting a hold on this for 10 days, um, just while things get checked out. So if you use Bitcoin Generations Exchange, you might want to kind of hold off on doing anything on the exchange for the next 10 days. Along with this brings us into our next thing. With there's a lot of initials here, mostly just we can just replace them with evil. The IMF, the World Bank, the International Monetary Fund, World Bank, the FSB, and 24 different countries are on board for global crypto regulations. Now, this is a huge thing. I think everyone's starting to see the light. I think that all these legacy institutions are finally starting to see that they're going to get left behind. They're going to be dinosaurs, and they're just going to be extinct if they don't jump on board. And they're wanting to get regulations taken care of, so they're not waiting for the SEC. They're starting to move on their own. The flaws in regulations of crypto have led to the disturbance in the whole global financial system. The developed countries, as well as the international institutions, have gathered to carve out the best possible solution for this scenario. Hopefully, crypto would make its own SEC. Something here with these institutions and countries come together, and the SEC would actually follow those regulations instead of everybody looking to the United States Securities Exchange Commission to set the bar. I think that would actually be cool. But recently, an important meeting was conducted that was attended by 24 financial authorities and 11 international organizations that include the World Bank, the IMF. The objective of this meeting was to introduce appropriate regulations to the crypto sector. Now, this is big. It was also planned in the meeting that a comprehensive report will be made on this issue and will be submitted in the next G20 session for consideration. So they're actually going to make an outline of a plan and then submit it at the next G20, which I think, as long as it's not kill all crypto, will be huge and will really help help the space. Um, if this was ignored, the whole and this is another thing they said. If it was ignored, the whole financial system will be shackled. So they're admitting that if they don't get on board and they don't get things taken care of, that they will be left behind and they'll become impotent in the market. Pretty cool. I think it's a really big deal. Head over and check out the story if you want to a little bit more in depth. Last but not least, we'll go over Ripple, everyone's favorite cryptocurrency, maybe cryptocurrency. That's um, up for debate. People want to debate that, but analysis shows that it's one of the most stable assets in the space. XRP Ripple was declared the most diversified among cryptocurrencies, covering $3 billion in the market. It doesn't seem to have a correlation matrix. The correlation matrix and weekly returns trace relationship between the 30 major digital resources and found XRP, Doge, and XTZ to be the topmost in the market, exhibiting the least association. So if Bitcoin goes down, Ethereum goes down, everything kind of follows with an association, but Doge and XRP, not so much. The one thing that XRP is completely attached to, that it is like chained to, is stellar lumens. On the reverse, XRP is greatly correlated with stellar lumens. Its flaunted opponent in the banking settlement skirmish due to Stellar's collaboration with IBM. Honestly, I like Stellar more, but XRP is a giant juggernaut. But if you really look at the markets and you look at the trend lines, they do follow. If XRP goes up 10%, Stellar's going to go up 8. Stellar goes up at 10%, XRP is probably going to go up 8. Same up and down, up and down. They are very, very connected. That's about it for today. The 1st of May. Hope everyone has a good May. Once again, crush that like button. Thanks for stopping by. I'm Satoshi Sean, and I will see you in the next video.